Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're driving on the PJ Patterson Highway, or the east-west leg of Highway 2000. Now this highway runs from Kingston to Montego Bay. However, they're building it out in phases, so the section between Kingston and Maypen is complete, and the section from Maypen to Mandeville is under construction, and it should be completed early next year. And then they'll build out another section, and then another section, and then eventually it will reach Montego Bay. They are doing the Montego Bay perimeter road now, and a part of that project is to build a toll plaza. And where that toll plaza is where Highway 2000 will end in Montego Bay. And it's also supposed to run, they're going to build a bypass for Spurtree Hill, and that bypass will eventually be a part of this highway. So they have the plans, everything in place. They're just building it out in phases because it's very expensive. Now this highway was the first major highway project ever done in Jamaica. This is the first toll road ever built in Jamaica, Highway 2000. And it was named after P.J. Patterson because he was very instrumental. P.J. Patterson is the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, but he was a Prime Minister when this highway was being designed and when the construction started. And he was very instrumental in getting this highway built. Now, before this highway was built, IDB, Inter Development Bank of Jamaica, had an idea to build a highway to connect both international airports in Jamaica, the Norman Mann International Airport in Kingston and the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay. That was the idea they had why they wanted to build a highway. And also they wanted to make it easier for tourists to reach the major tourist destinations in Jamaica. They wanted people to be able to get to these tourist destinations or easily. So that is why they wanted to build a highway. And that's why the highway runs from Kingston to Montego Bay and then Kingston to Ocho-Rios. That is why that's the main reason why the highway took out those routes. So the IDB did a feasibility study to see if it was worthwhile and if it would be beneficial and how much it would cost. And the study came back and showed that yes, it could work. It's going to be very expensive, and they would need foreign investment and foreign expertise to build a highway. So the government at the time, which was led by P.J. Patterson, took on the project. They were behind it 100%, and they then went and got foreign consultants. Basically, they had to use foreign persons to put the project together because you're not going to get $1 billion investment if the project was. You needed international persons with expertise in this field to get persons interested. So all that was done, and they sent out bids, and they got like 80 persons interested, and then they eventually narrowed it down to 4. And then when they narrowed it down to 4, they realized, the bidders told them, listen, we cannot build a highway from Kingston to Montego Bay in one go. It's going to be too expensive. So we're going to build it in phases. So they said okay, and then eventually the 4 became 2, and then the 2 became 1, and the French company, Vogue something, got the contract to build the highway. Now the way it worked is the French company would put up the money. I think the Jamaican government gave a guarantee or put up some money, but the bulk of the money was put up by the French company, it was a joint venture. The Jamaican government put up some and the French company put up some. And the French company was given permission to collect toll. They were given a concession to collect toll on the road for 35 years. And then they would use that toll revenue to pay back for building the highway. So that's how it was done. And and it worked. And they started with the Kingston to Sandy Bay leg of this highway that we're driving on now. And then we should point out that when these bids were being put in and everything, China Harbour Engineering Company was not in the picture. They were not one of the 4 contractors that it came down to. So I'm just mentioning that because all the highways that are built in Jamaica now are built by China Harbour Engineering Company. Every major highway project. So let's continue now. So the Kingston to Sandy Bay leg of the highway was built, the tolls were being collected, and then the French company started to build the Kingston to Ocho leg. It was also being done in phases, and they ran into problems, and long story short, the project stalled. And the Chinese company, China Harbour Engineering Company, came to the government. They came to the government. The government didn't bid, they didn't put out any tender like what they did, wherein the French company got it. And they said, listen, we will build this highway, we will put up all the money, give us a 50-year concession, and we will build the highway. And we will pay off the French company for the work that they have done so far. So the Jamaican government said yes. And the opposition at the time, everybody was like, what is going on here? There was no bid, there was no nothing. The contract was just given to this company. Anyway, the Chinese company paid off the French company for the work they did, and they built the highway. And they said to the government, you gave us a 50-year concession, but that's not going to be enough to cover the cost of the highway. So give us some land, government land, along the highway. And I'm not sure if Goat Island came in under this agreement, but they said basically give us some land. So the Jamaican government said sure, no problem. And the highway from Kingston to Ocho was built. It's up and running now. And then the Chinese company, China Harbour Engineering Company, they built the second leg of the highway we're on now, the PJ Patterson Highway. From Sandy Bay to Maypen, they built. And then they are now building the Maypen to Mandeville Highway. And of course, all sorts of studies, inquiries were done as to how China Harbour got into the picture because of the way it was done. But everything came back and said Jamaica benefited. It was the best way to do it at the time. And all the highways, the Southern Coastal Highway from Kingston to St. Thomas to Portland, China Harbour Engineering Company. The 3 miles overpass, China Harbour Engineering Company. They are not only the main foreign contractor in Jamaica, they are the only one that I can think of right now. Every step of the way there a major road project is being done, it's China Harbour Engineering Company. And they do an excellent job, I must say. They're doing a very good job with these roads. Alright guys, just gave you a brief history of this highway. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Have a good day.